It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachawadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And here it says, mosquitoes with synthetic DNA scheduled for California release. So just giving you brothers, whoever it is that is living in California, a quick heads up. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this now. Yeah, let me just go ahead. It says, from its inception, Oxitec has been closely aligned with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Experiments with synthetic and transgenic genes that kill the offspring of female mosquitoes does not bode well for humanity, as technology has already fallen into the hands of eugenic ideologists. Just real quick, it's a scripture I would like to bring out. Excuse me. King James Bible online.org. Does your home have hidden cash? I don't care. Anyways, waiting for this page to load up here, because this man can only bring death and destruction. Talking about the nation of Edom here, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people. They can only bring death and destruction. Okay, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Now, this is talking about the so-called white man right here, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people. But before I read verse 5, again, let me read Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So the soul in these devils are not upright, man. There's nothing upright. Excuse me. One moment. There's nothing upright about Esau. There's nothing upright about him. So if you want to wonder why they have these kind of mosquitoes which go around infecting people with viruses and making them sick, that's because the soul, the spirit, which is inside this man is not upright, which further proves that the Lord did not create the nation of Edom for peace or for restoration. Okay, the nation of Edom was created to bring destruction, trouble, and death to the planet. And that's why the animals are in mourning, the sea creatures are in mourning, the fowls, the birds of the air are in mourning. Okay, insects are in mourning, people are in mourning. Everything is in mourning because of this man and his unrighteous dealings. So yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, that wine is his democracy, his philosophy, his ideal way of living, which is doest thou wilt, which was started by a Amalekite who go by the name of Aleister Crowley. Okay, Aleister Crowley was one of the descendants of Amalek. So excuse me. So we're talking about the same man here who believes that if you pop a little boy in his butt, then you can gather magic from him, and just all kind of bugged out and disgusting madness. But these people are the wicked. These are the same people that have rule and control over the earth. We're talking about the same people that turned frogs into homosexuals and just all kind of messed up stuff, crossbreeding animals. Okay, you got a tiger with stripes with a lion's mane because of all this crossbreeding going around. They've been conducting mass human and animal and insect experimentations. So don't be surprised if you see a person with a human body, but he has a hideous, terrifying look to him, razor sharp teeth, long claws. That comes from human experimentations. Okay, there's a lot of twisted stuff that goes on this planet that people do not see on the average or on a daily on TV or on the web or on the internet. Yeah, they had websites like Best Gore where they showed you the reality of what goes on around the globe, beheadings and electrocutions and people dying by machines and all that. But when you go to the dark web, they show you far more gruesome things. We're talking about torture, all kind of pedophilia going on, you know, families getting kidnapped, a man's woman getting raped in front of him, but before he gets brutally murdered, before his children gets murdered, just and when you look at the days of Noah, you start to understand why the Lord flooded the earth back then. Because the same things that's going on in the earth today was going on back then during the time of Noah. So indeed, the Lord is going to bring this second death, which the first death is that's talking about the flood that took out all those wicked souls. The second death is going to be by fire, by nuclear fire. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So because this man transgresseth by wine, talking about the so-called white man, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, so this man is as deaf. Okay, he is as deaf. That's why they got these GMO mosquitoes going around plaguing people with diseases, because he can't help but bring evil and death to the planet. Okay, if this man was not as deaf, then fracking should not exist, because you're destroying the planet every time you take a big drill and drill it into the earth just to extract the oil from underground. Those kind of works would not exist. But this man is as deaf, so fracking exists. E.g. Bill Gates, okay, who are already bent on population reduction, right? Furthermore, are arbitrarily killing off one species affects the whole ecologic system. TN editor. In the mosquito breeding rooms of British biotech company Oxitec, scientists line up fresh eggs, each the size of a giant, each as the size of a grain of salt. Using microscopic needles, the white coated. I mean, come on, and come on, think about it. Who who does this kind of shit? Only the devil does this kind of shit right here. The white coated researchers inject each egg with a dab of proprietary synthetic DNA. Unbelievable. For 4 days, Oxitec technicians care for the eggs, watching for those that hatch into wriggling brown larvae. Those injection survivors, the company calls them, face a battery of tests to ensure their genetic modification is successful. Soon, millions of these engineered mosquitoes could be set loose, and they're talking about millions of these genetically modified engineered mosquitoes could be said to be loose in California in an experiment recently approved by the federal government. So get ready. They're talking about releasing these mosquitoes in California. Oxitec, a private company, says its genetically modified bugs could help save half of the world's population from invasive. And you know, whenever they talk about doing something to save the world, it's the complete opposite. Remember Habakkuk 2 and 5. This man is not about saving shit, okay? Excuse my bootay, but this man, the so-called white man, he's not about saving anything. The so-called elites, especially the so-called elites, they're all about destruction and population reduction. And that's just what it is, man. Oxitec, a private company, says its genetically modified bugs could help save, which is not true, half the world's population from invasive Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which is BS. Which is BS. You and you know, cause this man speaks with a forked tongue. Let me hold on. Let me get that real quick. Never trust thine enemy. Chapter 55, verse 21. No. My bad. The book of Psalm, chapter 55, verse 21. Salakia for clearing my throat like this. You know, it's about that time of the year when those chemtrails they spray in the air takes an effect on the human body. Psalms 55, verse 21. You know what? Let's see, start at verse 20 here. Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant, right? He put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, right? And that's what he's doing right now. He's putting forth his hand through these mosquitoes, talking about saving the world from Egypti mosquitoes. This man speaks with a forked tongue. He say one thing, but in the back of his mind, he has something totally different planned. Psalms 55 verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Oh, we love the population so much. We want to use these mosquitoes to kill off the Egyptian mosquitoes. Meanwhile, these mosquitoes are also going to be targeting people and killing them. Right? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? This man's talking about saving the world, but he has ulterior motives. It says, so they're claiming that these Egypti mosquitoes can spread diseases such as yellow fever, uh, chikungunya, and dunge to humans. Female offsprings produced by these modified insects will die, according to Oxitec's plans, causing the population to collapse. So this man wants to kill off the natural mosquitoes, okay? Because these Egypti mosquitoes, these are the natural inhabitants of the earth. So this devil wants to create his GMO technological created mosquitoes to kill off the natural mosquitoes. But you see, this devil's been doing this, killing off the things that are natural and replacing them with artificial intelligence. Why do you think we have artificial grass? They've replaced natural grass with artificial grass. They've replaced fertilizer, natural fertilizer, with artificial fertilizer. They've replaced natural food with genetically modified food. So whatever is natural, he wants to have it all replaced with artificial intelligence. They're already trying to replace natural dogs. Why do you think they have robot dogs now? They have robo dogs because they're trying to replace natural dogs. Like, they have humanoid robots. They have sex robots to replace natural women. This man is literally as deaf. And that's why, like Yahushua said in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, let me just get it real quick before I close it out, because I don't want to read any more of this article. This information is disgusting. Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So if the Lord don't hurry up and shorten the days, man, there ain't going to be no flesh left to be saved. Okay? The so-called white man will literally try to do away with everything. So if you want to know why we're in the month of April already, even though this year already just started, it's because the Lord is shortening the days. The days are being shortened because this man is literally trying to destroy everything. But with that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.